Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Tina, and today I am going to go through my 2025 Bible reading plan that I have come up with and probably overwhelmed. As you know, if you've been here last year, I read through the Bible in a year. I did not make it, but I got like 95% of the way. So my plan is to finish those sections that I did not get done last year and then dive into this next year's reading. There's very, very little that I didn't get finished in 2024, but it was a big challenge and a big project, I guess, big goal for myself. And then a lot of the challenges that we had at the end of the year just kind of threw me off my trajectory, and I had to make adjustments. So, as you saw from the thumbnail, there's quite a pile. So let me turn you over and let's get into it. Okay, so as you can see, this is quite the stack, and that doesn't include the book at the bottom. So I'm going to push these aside, and we're going to start with this one. This is what we use as a secondary reference, so to speak, in or supplementary reading. If you don't know, I started last fall taking classes. They're more or less seminary classes, and I'm not going through the full seminary thing. I'm just taking certain classes because I want to dive deeper and learn more about the Bible and just dive in deeper. So this spring, we are starting back. It's a 3-year cycle with it. So this year, we're starting back in Genesis. So for my Bible reading, let me see. I didn't bring my Bible. Okay, sorry. It was the one thing I didn't bring to my table. So I have my Bible. It's an ESV, and I was a lifelong KJV kid. I grew up that way and had that Bible, and I used that Bible for probably 35 years or so. So I did dive into this one this last year, and you can see there are some notes and things, and you can see obviously what I've gone more in depth with and what I haven't. And if you want a flip through, let me know, and I'll see if I can work on this. It'd be a project in itself. But with the Bible, because we read out of the Bible all semester long. So in the spring, I will be reading and diving deep into Genesis and Job. And then we will be starting on the 4 Gospels, Matthew, Mark, Luke, John. We will be finishing the Gospels in the fall. The fall semester, we will be reading Exodus through Joshua, which is Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, Deuteronomy, and Joshua. And so that in itself is going to be a big feat. So we are also going to be diving into the book of Acts in the fall, as well as learning about the doctrines of God and doctrines of the Bible in the spring. So you can see my plate is pretty full with my Bible reading and the supplementary reading. This is, I'm going to show you. Put that out of the way. So I'm just going to open this up. So you can see this, where are we? Looks in the doctrine section. Let me see if I can't find a good page. Okay, so here's the beginning of Ephesians. So it has comes up with the introduction, okay, and then an outline. And there is commentaries in here, and this is like a very nicely done guide that includes multiple snippets from multiple commentaries and along with just the factual breakdown. And then it goes into, and it goes chapter by chapter, verse by verse. It has sections here like the dispensation. Can I get my mouth to wrap around some of these words? And then you have a lot of, reference and breaking down, and then it goes into Colossians. So this is how this is. And I thought, oh man, this is a big book, but this is used throughout all 3 years, and you only dive into the sections that we're studying at the time. So it's if you're looking, this was only like $35, I think. This is a really good resource if you're looking for a resource. And it is a pretty hefty book. And don't worry about the dog hair. We have 3 dogs. One of them's long haired. But it's published by Tyndale, written by Dr. Harold Wilmington. So that is what we're doing that's what I'm doing with my Bible, reading specifically straight out of the Bible and studying. I will go down, and you can even see this is like our homework, and then our daily breakdown. So I've already printed out, along with our study guides, I've already printed that out for the spring so that I can kind of dive in a little bit early, and get things started. There's also, along with those, there's classes. Like every week there's 3 hours of class to go along with those. So I'm going to go over my list. Here we go. And I'm going to probably just be mixing some of these books up. And I will tell you how I broke them down. Okay, I will break this one down first. So this one is How to Read the Bible for All It's Worth. I also ordered, and they're in the mail now, is How to Read the Books of the Bible for All They're Worth, as well as the Bible translations, because this one I definitely will be reading this year. The other 2, I want to get into them. They might be more like trietary resources. The translation one, my son and my husband and I are having debates on translations. So that I thought would help us out, because we have a son that he's very educated in it. He's actually taking these classes with me, but he is more or less like going off the word of another Christian kid, which is fine, but he's younger and he's been taught differently a little bit. So we want to open up his mind and show him, kind of like a different view, different prospect. So, okay, so let me get in and I will show you that this is broken up into 13 chapters. And, okay, so 13 chapters. I haven't broken it up, but this I think might be one that I just dive into and read maybe twice a week. I don't know. We'll have to see how far I get into it. There's the preface, and then the first, because they put the preface for each edition in, which is interesting. So there's chapter 1, and so each chapter has a good amount of pages. So I'm not sure if I'll get past a chapter a week. So, and that'd be fine, because that'd be 13 weeks. And if I did it just read one chapter a week per, 1 day a week, then that would be, done in less than a quarter of the year. The next book is, I've had these for a while, so I'm going to break these down. This one is Created to Be His Helpmeet, and it was a book that I got from a previous church that I love. We only left because we moved. This one is Discover How God Can Make Your Marriage Glorious, and I am all for anything to enrich my family and my relationship with God and my family. So this is why I am choosing to read this one. This one is 24 chapters, And each chapter, it has 4 parts, 2 parts. But it kind of focuses. And so I figured, again, this might be something that I could read once a week, or it might be something that I just dive in and kind of plow through and take notes to apply. So it does have the time to consider, and this is why I was like, maybe it's a once a week thing, because it has the make a new habit, get serious with God, and then a good helpmeet has a passion to be of service. So I wanted to really take these things to heart. And yes, as a book nerd, that I don't like folded pages and corners, but it's been through a lot. Excuse me. So this is one. It's by Debbie Pearl. I will try to link all the books down below for Amazon, and just know I don't get paid. I don't have an affiliate link or anything. It's just straight links. This one is The Excellent Wife by Martha Peace, a Biblical Perspective Expanded Edition. I kind of did that for each one, so I knew. So 4 chapters, and it has 4 sections. I'm sorry, 4 sections and 21 chapters. So I figured I would read the helpmeet first and then dive into this one. And then it could only just enrich. And I can obviously take each book in the perspective of what they have to offer and apply it to my life and my relationships. My relationship with my husband, of course. But this is how it's laid out. And it has a question, just one in the back of the chapters, I think. So it kind of talks about if you proved that prayer, if you just prayed that prayer and meant it, you could know that God has heard you and will answer your prayer, because 1 John 5:14 says, and this is the confidence which we have before him, that if we ask anything according to his will, he hears me. So this is, it's just laid out, and I think this might be, it's got more references, and so it just kind of makes you think and like gives you something to apply to your life. So I thought that would be a good complimentary, second book to read for that. And then I have, and I'm doing them a little bit out of the order of the stack. So I have Mere Christianity. It has 4 books within this book. It's by C.S. Lewis, and I've had this for a long time, and I wanted to kind of read it and get into it, and I just haven't. And this is why I kind of want to dive into some of these. So here it is. So book 1 and book 2, and like the right and wrong as a clue to the meaning of the universe, what Christians believe, what Christian behavior, and then beyond personality, or first steps in the doctrine of the Trinity. So I'm really just kind of interested in a lot of what, C.S. Lewis had written about. And these are 4 short-ish books that this will just be something that I read, in a couple, maybe 2 weeks or something. We'll have to see how much time I have. This one is this group tape letters, and there are 31 letters. If you don't know, this is a book, and you can see they're just numbered. These are letters from a higher demon to a lower demon, like in training, and this is meant to give you perspective on how the demons or the devil try to get into your life and kind of screw it up. So it's a Christian apologetic novel. It's written in a satirical epistolary style, and while it's fictional format, the plot and characters are used to address Christian theological issues, and they have to do with temptation and resistance. So, you know, my kids read this. They one of them did this as a Bible study in one of our old churches, as a young adult, older teen group. They read them together and then discussed them. So I thought, you know what? I've always wanted to, and since we now have a copy, it's sitting on my shelf, so why not? Let's see. There is... Okay. We're getting there, guys. Okay, so this one is Women of the Word, and I've heard nothing but good things about this. So I really want to dive in. It is a 10-week Bible study. If you dive in and do a chapter a week. So I figured I could start with this one. I have another one or two that will get me through the year, so to speak. This is Women of the Word, How to Study the Bible with Both Our Hearts and Minds. And I thought this could only be nothing but good. It talks about turning things around, the case for Bible literacy, study with purpose, perspective, patience, process, and prayer, and then pulling it all together. There's help for teachers and a conclusion. So I put it down for 10 weeks, I think. But I wanted to give it time. So I didn't want to rush it. So if it takes me less time, it takes me less time. It's like, a week early. So the introduction and then questions and reflection. And then there's a chapter 1 and it's got the reading and let me see. So it's going to be a good bit of reading. So this might be a day's worth of reading or maybe 2 days. And then questions for reflection. And then chapter 2. So you can see how I was like, this is going to take, just a little bit of time. But I figure I can start with, this is probably going to be my second one. I don't know. I haven't decided. I will show you all 3 when I'm done. This is a 12-week Bible study. And it is Living Above Worry and Stress. And it's a Women of Faith study guide series. So I picked this up literally at a thrift store. And it's a Nelson Impact. So it's by Thomas Nelson Publishers. And it's just meant to kind of, I believe, bring you in. And when you have worries and stress, focus more on God and his role in everything. And just like, he's there. Just know that he is there. He is not going to abandon you. So scattered lives, fear and trembling, worry warts, stressed out. These are types of things. So the focuses. So there's the reading and then the lesson or the reflection and the question and answer. And there's some more reading and then more questions. So it's not too terribly like reading intense. And then there's a digging deeper section. I have not read into any of this. And then there's a ponder and pray, trinkets to treasure. There's 2 of them. So it's probably more of like, hey, this is, something to think on and ponder on. And then there's notes and prayer requests for the previous chapter. So, as I said, this one is 12 weeks. And I'm putting it 12 weeks because it's got 12 chapters. It might take me 13, and I might just take it from this other one, and it'll all balance out. And then there's the last Bible study. And these are my independent Bible studies. So I have a ladies' Bible study group that I meet with once a week. And right now we're going through the minor prophets, and we'll just continue that until we decide, until we're done, and then we pick up a different book. But this one is Proverbs 31 in 5 minutes a day. I don't know that I will do this every day for a month. But I put 7 weeks. So let's look. Let's look and find out. Oh, okay. So yes. Okay, so 7 weeks. This is why I put 7 weeks. So this one's probably a little bit more hands-on-ish, maybe. There's an introduction that I need to read, and then obviously what is probably, what's in it, and then how to, when and how to read it. So it has Proverbs 31, 10 through 31, and then it goes into week 1. And I started this at one point, and I did not get any further than this. So I want to dive in. So this is just day 1. And then there's day 2 and day 3. So day 2 doesn't look like there's any notes or reflections or questions. And then day 3. So it's meant to make you think, and obviously most of these are meant to make you think, and they're not just flat out informative. But you can see that it's broken down by day. And so it's not going to be too hard to keep up because there's already assigned. So there's week 2, and it just kind of goes on. And I think I want to say I got this book like 2 years ago. And again, I just did not get to it. I think we were actually, I probably got this more like 4 years ago, because I think I got it before the move. I'm telling you, we moved, and it just threw everything, my routine, my rhythm, and I have been struggling to get it back, and it's been 3 years, so it's time. So these 3 are going to be my daily, weekly Bible study, personal devotional throughout the year. The others are going to be just straight reads. And then I have these. These all kind of go together, and I might, this one's 14 chapters. I might start this in the 4th quarter of the year. Because this is Joy to the World, How Christ's Coming Changed Everything and Still Does by Scott Hahn. And it's just obviously a reading, informational reading kind of book. Excuse me. So here's the chapters, and it kind of just goes right on through. From the light goes on in Bethlehem to flight into joy, blessed Trinities, heaven and the Holy Family, and joy to the world. So it's pretty much Jesus's impact. That's the word. His impact and influence on the world. Then these last 3 are all like complementary, so to speak. This is the Passion of Love. He did it for you. And as you can see, it's very thin, and I think I can get this read, obviously, in a very short time. It's got 13 little chapter sections, from Gethsemane to My Father and Your Father. And so it is smaller print, but I don't think it'll be too bad. And I don't think these will take me too long, especially towards the end of the year. And then this one I picked up. Oh, my gosh. Okay, so this is beautiful. This is beautifully done. I have not read it, but I got it at a thrift store. As you can tell, we have a thrift store down here that I absolutely love. This is beautiful pictures. The 7 Wonders. It's the last 18 hours. And there's a preface. And then it starts with the gift, the first wonders of the cross, second wonders of the cross, third, fourth. So it goes through, and then who you are in Christ. And these pictures are gorgeous, and they are just done so beautifully. It's a beautiful book, and there's a little bit of reading. It shouldn't take too long, obviously. Talks about Yom Kippur and Adam, the 7th-fold gift, and then it goes into the first wonder of the cross, the wonder of forgiveness, and it just talks about little bits in here. And there's synopsis there. But I thought, coming up to, leading up to Christmas time, this is going to be really impactful and very meaningful about that time of the year. I don't think I can get this done all before Easter this year. I just have a lot else going on. So this is what I'm going to do for the end of the year. And then I did want to bring in these 2. These are the missing books of the Bible. They are I believe they're the commonly referred to as the Book of Maccabees, and it's more interest reading. There's introductions and stuff. If you are interested, I will link these down below. There's 2 volumes, but like this has the first book of Estrada, the second book of Tobit and Judith, the rest of the chapters of the book of Esther, the wisdom of Solomon, and the volume 2 has the wisdom of Jesus and the son of Sirach. And then it's got the books and epistles in there. And the first and second book of Maccabees is in here. So the back of this says, for several hundred years, the biblical heroine Susanna was among the most popular subjects in European art. She was painted by Rembrandt, Rubens, and Tintoretto, among others. The Bible heroine Judith graces the portal of Chartres Cathedral in France and is featured in poems written thousands of years ago. The biblical hero Judah Maccabee inspired works by famous composer George Handel and poet Henry Wadsworth Longfellow. Yet modern readers who want to learn more about these important biblical figures are likely to find their stories missing from the Bible's why. There are 12 other books are known as the Apocrypha, or meaning missing, or things hidden away. So I guess these are the Apocrypha with the Book of Maccabees. And why are these books omitted from some Bibles? In the missing books of the Bible, you'll learn their fascinating history, be able to read them in their entirety. So I just thought it would be a nice, like, if I could get it read. This might be a 2026 tackle. But if I could get these read, then it might, now that I have read the Bible from beginning to end, adding this knowledge in might connect the dots, because there's some things that I've been told in the book of Maccabees that connects a lot of things and makes things make more sense. This is a personal choice. I am not endorsing nor condemning. It's just an interest read. And that. So there is one other thing that I wanted to show you, and I am super happy about it. I am tickled that I got it done. I have been carrying around a big Bible study notebook to church and everywhere I go. So it's been, sometimes cumbersome in the pews and everything. And I don't like writing directly in my Bible during sermon, because I want to be very specific with what I'm writing and make sure that I have like time to do the notes and things. So I made this. I just did a picture cover on on Canva, and then I backed it with just hard card stock from they call it the comic book backers or whatever. So I just did that, and each page is just there's like 54 of these, I think, in here, and this is my sermon notes, my common sermon notes page. And it just has the date and the preacher and the title, and then I have my verses and my notes over here, and it's just front and back. Okay, I haven't had time to play around with this, so there you go. See, so it folds easy. And then in the back, I did put just a couple of pages back there for notes in case I was talking to someone at church and needed to flip around and make a note really quick. But I'm just really happy that these will all be in the same place and together. So I can just grab this and my Bible and a pen if I want on Sunday mornings and head into church. So, and it won't be as cumbersome in the pew trying to like work around this bigger Happy Planner style notebook. So that is my very optimistic look at my reading for my Bible reading for 2025. I will keep you updated throughout the year. I don't know how often I will get to these videos. But if you're interested, let me know down below, and I will see about doing like a review maybe once a month, or when I get done with 1 or 2 books, and just kind of do a review and a reflection on them. Maybe answer some questions if you're interested in any of these, but I can't answer those until I read through them. So let me know down below, and let me know what your Bible reading plans are for 2025. I hope that this inspires you, and I will try to keep you updated on how I'm doing with my Bible reading, or it's not necessarily Bible reading, but my reading for my, I would say, Christian books instead of non-Christian fluff reading. So let me know down below what you're doing, and if you're interested in video synopsis and summaries after I've finished with several of these, and I will see you on the next video. Thanks for watching.